about the internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward. There's trillions of dollars parked around the world. RP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to an episode of 24-Hour Script. Let's get right in today's video. The IMF just indirectly referred to Ripple's technology. This is absolutely insane. This is not hype. I'm going to show you guys hardcore evidence of how they exactly did that. Welcome back to another episode. Where do we even begin? Let's start off with this, hot off the press. Crypto exchange backed by Citadel Securities, Fidelity, Schwab starts operations. This is crazy. Trillions of dollars. And they just started their own crypto exchange called EDX. And guess what else EDX is about to launch? They're going to launch a clearinghouse business later this year to provide members with the most competitive and capital efficient market through a single settlement process. Everything is adding up perfectly. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and smash that like button, share the video, because this is going to be a jaw dropper. IMF working on a global central bank digital currency platform. Mic drop. Do you guys remember when Brad Garlinghouse and Rock Lacau, that awkward panel?
Can you see those? Oh, there's two votes.
Let me try.
Do you see IMF holding crypto assets? Can you see those? Oh, there's two votes.
Let me try.
Do you see IMF holding crypto assets in the future? Oh, they're over here. That's easier. You want to take one? Go for it. The first one's for you. IMF. Do you see IMF holding crypto assets in the future? I did not put that up there.
Remember, I'm from the legal department. I'm supposed to be very conservative about these things.
That was from 2018, and look where we are today. The same faces, which we're going to go over in a video again, they're all still intact. This has been long in the making. And we're going to get into this blueprint, the rise of payment and contracting platforms, published just yesterday by Tobias Adrian. Take a listen to this panel. This is from 2019. And in the video, you'll see Christine Lagarde's white head, okay, right near you. And then you have Brad Garlinghouse sitting in the same panel as Tobias Adrian. You can't make this stuff up. And then we're going to get into this blueprint.
Tobias Adrian, who is the financial counselor and the director of the Monetary and Capital Markets Department of the IMF.
Great, thank you so much. Just a year ago, all the talk was about crypto assets, Bitcoins, and its multiple evolutions. And today I'm going to shift and talk more about e-money. In particular, I'm going to focus on stable coins and how they relate to central bank digital currency and what it might mean for the international financial system. What you want to use is a common ledger, right? So distributed ledgers have many problems, the lack of finality, the lack of identity. So to use new technologies for policy purposes, having a common ledger, perhaps run by the central bank, or by an agency appointed by the central bank.
Today's global financial system is more complex than ever before. Yet as the world's economies grow, the infrastructure they rely on needs to evolve. Every nation has its own independent monetary policy and regulatory standards.
To use new technologies for policy purposes, having a common ledger perhaps run by the central bank.
That's Tobias Adrian for you. And take a listen to what they said here. Right off the bat, proof of work, as used in Bitcoin, uses excessive energy. And proof of stake, such as Ethereum, can be costly in terms of validation fees and remains relatively untested. However, Ripple has been testing with regulated entities for years in the making. Remember, 3 years ahead with Clarity and 10 years ahead with real world utility being tested and run on the XRP ledger with nothing significant being done to it. This is where they indirectly refer to Ripple. Get real close. There's going to be a lot of reading after I drop these facts, but this is one part right here. Examples of existing governance arrangements in the public and private sectors may offer guidance. They're talking about to their platform. The Continuous Linked Settlement, CLS system, for instance, which plays a critical role in the global foreign exchange market, has very strong governance arrangement among its more than 70 settlement members. Private member scheme operators have built extensive experience. Arguably, the governance arrangements developed over decades by card companies like MasterCard and Visa to resolve disputes and investigate transactions are the real barriers to entry for other companies trying to come into the market. And if you guys don't know continuous linked settlement, they're actually indirectly correlated with Ripple and using Ripple. Where do we begin? We start back in 2015 where DNH Global PayPlus hooks up to Ripple. Two entities. DNH is now Finestra, which we're going to show the evidence on. A leading provider of technology solutions to financial institutions globally, today announced that it has partnered with Ripple to deliver innovative payment capabilities by integrating Global PayPlus, its global payment service hub, with Ripple's distributed ledger technology, creating a foundation for future disruptive payments and innovation. And then they came together, DNH and Missy came together, and they had a name change of Finestra. Fusion Pay Plus, take a look at that. Fusion Pay Plus for continuous linked settlement. They're using Fusion Pay Plus for continuous linked settlements, folks. Integrated CLS settlement services for all CLS products. If you guys didn't know, Ripple to bring blockchain technology to Finestra's banking customers as well. Boom, that's two right there. Now let's get back to some huge giveaways by this IMF blueprint. You can make this stuff up. Take a listen. They don't have everything. They still need private sector. Ripple is still going to play a massive role in this. The platform could offer complementary services through a programming layer, as discussed earlier. Basic operations may be possible, such as swapping and lending assets. Again, objects libraries would offer safety and internal consistency. And they could serve as a guide to instill some standardization in the programming capabilities introduced by private firms on their own ledgers. Indeed, the CBDC platform should not bar the private sector from operating its own ledgers, offering settlement and programming functionalities. On the contrary, the private sector must continue innovating. The point is that some degree of standardization in tokenization and programming on a private ledger could facilitate interoperability even without going through the CBDC platform, by instead leveraging the ledger's doors to outside requests and instructions called application programming interfaces, aka API, Ripple's API. In that sense, the platform's own standards could be catalytic for greater standardization throughout the financial system. Wow, that is, you guys could reread that, pause the screen, reread that if you have to, but that is huge. Establishing clear governance arrangements would likely be easier at the domestic level than internationally. However, some negotiations among national public sector agencies and with the government would be needed. They're talking about coming together. Widespread engagement with the private sector would also be essential. For instance, the central bank may be involved in so far as offering the settlement asset, wholesale CBDC on the ledger, and the central securities might be involved by potentially operating or overseeing the ledger used for the transfer, escrowing, and programming of assets. The platform's multiple layers might call for multiple institutions to collaborate. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate every single one of you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm going to read that last part. The platform's multiple layers might call for multiple institutions to collaborate. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate every single one of you guys, and we will be back with another.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch. I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.